Well, someone's got to guinea pig these things, right?
Yeah, that's actually, testing hardline is one of the hardest things, I think, both from our side and from Red Bull side moving forward, is because, you know, back in the day it was just us with a small crew. You know, sometimes we'd take like one of our mates who was good at like first aid up, and it was quite a controlled situation, and quite like, it probably wasn't a safe situation, but it was controlled. And now hardline testing has turned into quite like it's not a media event, but like there's definitely like a grey area as to like, should you publicize hardline testing? And we've all seen like the footage that came out of that, you know, that canyon gap, and it's such a hard one, you know.
Yeah,
like,
for 10 years there's been this whole underground, like private, secret, uncovered, you know, testing of hardline that in my eyes is the gnarliest point of the event,
and nobody sees it either.
Yeah, and
that's the hard thing.
It's been kept quiet because 75% of the time it doesn't
go
work
well.
out.
But then on the other hand, there's this amazing footage, you know, as you saw with Jim Monroe, you know, getting ejected over the canyon. And so, you know, how do you
but we learned from last year, like people are ready for hardline, and they're ready to see riders hit hardline. They're not ready for hardline testing. Like, that isn't okay.
Yeah.
You know, it was insane to see the backlash that we both got from that whole testing of the canyon gap being thrown open to the world.
And it wasn't much different to other years.
No,
you know?
Not at all.
We didn't film the road gap testing. Some of the features that we've built before have been not okay and were taken out.
Yeah.
But nobody saw them.
Yeah.
And yes, the canyon gap was a big step, but you know, in terms of the actual consequence for the rider.
But the difference last year was that testing was thrown open to the, you know, everyone watched every minute of it. For whatever reason, someone decided that would be fine. And, you know, people saw what goes into the testing, but because they'd not really seen much of it before, they thought this was something new, this was something terrifying. You know, up to the event, I would be getting like messages and messages, like angry people, like really upset, like really like hating on me, like, you know, threatening me, like saying that it was ridiculous. Kids' mums who were like taking part in the event messaging me like, you've lost your shit, you don't know what you're doing, you've had too many concussions, I'm going to sue you. Like really aggressive, unpleasant, personal messages, like really gnarly, because suddenly they'd been exposed to, you know, the reality that is hardline testing.
Yeah. And that whole process is to make sure things are safe and rideable, right?
Yeah. And, you know, in Tassie, Dave McMillan's crash was insane, like one of the horriblest things I've ever seen in my life. But out of respect, you know, nobody ever saw it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's such a hard like balance. You know, you're pushing the sport and you're testing these insane things that shouldn't be done on a bike, really. And you want the outcome to be good, because you only need one or two people to hit it before you know how fast you need to go, what tweaks need to be done, and then the chances are that most people will be all right. As soon as you've seen one person do it, you learn so much from that, and that's what hardline testing is. And nowadays the consequences are so high. You know, the jumps are so big, and the room for error is so small on a mountain bike. You know, these aren't motorbikes. You know, the room for error is tiny. So
I also think people are so, you know, they're used to watching these guys make incredible features look so easy. You know, you watch the top three from last year, they flow down the course and it makes it look effortless. And the amount of people, you know, that say to us, I'd like to try that road cap, it looks kind of chilled. And it's because they've just seen all the riders in the world hit it, and, you know, the best riders in the world hit it really well. So it looks kind of chilled. But I think when you suddenly expose them to the testing and the crashes and what can go wrong, it's a bit of a shock, and perhaps it's, you know, not something we should do for the future.
Yeah, maybe.
It's quite an intimidating place to be. You know?
It's not somewhere you go for a Sunday afternoon spin, no?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, everyone used to ask us the first few years. Everyone was like, "Oh, do you guys ride hardline outside of the event?" And you just don't. Like, there's just no way. And every year, people are, the dig crew are like, "Oh, we're going to go and ride it after," and no way, no one ever does. It's just so full on. You got to be on your A game like from day one.